Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Public Works for October 10th, 2024. Roll call.
Val Gomez,
Present.
Weena Guzman,
Present.
James Portalatin.
Okay, we do have a quorum. Next item on our agenda is the regular minutes of the meeting of September 26, 2024. I'd like to make a motion, we approve the minutes as written.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We have no correspondence. We'll move on to new business. First item on our agenda is the bid opening for the demolition of the antenna in the City Hall parking lot. You have the floor.
Good afternoon, John Blosky with Americo Engineering. There are two proposals or quotes, sealed quotes that have been received at the Board of Works. And the first one is from Environmental Cleansing Corporation from Markham, Illinois. The base quote from Environmental Cleansing Corporation is $78,350. $78,350. Alternate one is $13,000, and alternate two is $2,350. Again, alternate one is $13,000. Alternate two is $2,350.
I'm sorry, the train pass alternate one is 13 or 15?
13.
13.
Okay, that's what I have down, okay.
As I get talking to the microphone too, that might help.
And I'm sorry, one more thing, what is the name of the contractor?
Environmental Cleansing Corporation.
Okay.
They also go by ECC. Yep. And the second sealed quote is from Alliance Demolition from Chicago, Illinois. Alliance Demolition, their base quote is $78,000. $78,000. Alternate one is $6,750. $6,750, and alternate two is $3,120. $3,120. I spoke with James briefly about these proposals, and he said we'll not be making an award, so I would recommend you take these under advisement for the next meeting.
Right.
And we'll
That's
review
usually
them.
our practice.
Okay.
We'll have James or yourself, whoever's going to review the paperwork to make sure the paperwork is correct.
Mhm.
And then next meeting, we have the recommendation.
Very good.
If they accept.
Okay, I will take a copy and present the originals back to you real fast. That's
Okay.
for our review.
I usually scan them the next day, but if you want to make
That's good. You could email me them. That's fine.
Okay.
You're the boss. Whatever you want, that's what you, right? Okay.
I'll email you to you. Oh, she did. Oh, okay.
I got an idea. Why don't you just scan and give me a copy? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a very nice evening.
Okay, next
You
item
as
on our agenda is Sounds and Graphic 2025 calendar from Multimedia. This is the annual city calendar that Multimedia puts out every year. They have two quotes, and the lower quote and what he's quoting, what he's recommending is Sounds and Graphic. Their price is $20,638.24, $17,850 for the calendar itself, and $2,788.24 for the postage. The other quote, let's see, that one was for $20,638.24. Second quote is for $26,298, and it's for Creative out of Portage, Indiana. So he's recommending to go with Sounds and Graphic because of the price. Apparently they're about $6,000 or $5,000 something lower. And I believe that's the company we had last year also. But any questions or comments on this proposal for multimedia?
Okay, 2025. I'm just making sure that it's pretty much, okay. No.
No?
No questions, no.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
there being no comments or questions, I'd like to make a motion we approve Steve Segura, our multimedia director's recommendation for Sounds and Graphics to do our 2025 calendar at the amount of $20,638.24.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we have from IT department. This from the company's name on the agenda is Eaton, but on the paperwork it says Steiner Eaton. This is a proposal. We do have a letter from Kevin Kosak, our IT director. Steiner Electric Company server room UPS annual maintenance. Description: this renewal is for the maintenance service for the UPS backup unit in the IT server room to be provided by Steiner Electric. The annual 12-month maintenance cost is $3,186. And this is a renewal. I believe we've had it for several years as our maintenance for our server room. Are there any questions or comments?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I can make a motion. We approve the recommendation from our IT director for Steiner Eaton for $3,186 for a server annual maintenance room.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next we have from Alert Alarm. This is from Public Works. It's for the smoke detectors at City Hall. We do have a letter. This is from Alert Alarm. Thank you for your interest in Alert Alarm and the opportunity to provide a quote to your address security needs. After security of your situation, we have designed an equipment package that will be reliable and cost-effective, backed by a strong warranty. The proposal is to replace the CO combos with smoke detectors and 34 Firelight addressable smoke detectors. All wiring, cable, and miscellaneous hardware required to complete installation. Total installation labor $5,295.00. Any questions or comments?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve Alert Alarm's proposal to Public Works for replacing our smoke detectors at City Hall.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next we have, also from Public Works, we have STM's 2020, this should be 2025 rates or continuation of 2024?
I think it's 2025, because let's see.
Because it says effective October 2024. I'm thinking it goes in, maybe it's from October to October.
Yes, yeah.
So this rate schedule is for emergency board ups, demolition debris removal, property preservation, labor rates, material rates, and transportation equipment disposable rates, and that's about the different categories. Like I said, this is a rate schedule. And I want to remind the department's rate schedule. It has a not to exceed of 50,000, but for the record, I want to remind departments rate schedules are not to be used as a substitute for contracts. They're for things that come up. We're tending to see more where they're using the rate schedule as a proposal, and it's going above our purchase policy.
Yes,
And our purchase policy is based on the amount that you're paying for a proposal.
yes.
So
I think your office distributed related documentation on that.
Right, because we're discovering more things we didn't notice as we look at things, and I'm actually going to do a follow-up call to all departments on that.
Good. Okay.
Any questions or comments on this rate schedule?
No.
There be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion to approve STM's rate schedule with Public Works with a not to exceed $50,000.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we have from Crawford Door Sales. It's also a rate schedule. It basically only has their hourly rate for 2 men, which is $340 per hour. It has a not to exceed of $10,000. Any questions or comments on this rate schedule?
None.
I'd like to make a motion, we approve Crawford Door Sales rate schedule for 2025 for Public Works.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We come to outstanding invoices. I'll read each one first, and then I'll make a motion for, there's 3 before us tonight, and then we'll make one motion at the end. The first one is from Public Works. The vendor is Johnson Controls. We have one late invoice dated 4/5/2024. The amount is $3,859.63. The explanation is vendor charged tax on the invoice, but they had to wait for the vendor to avoid the tax charge. Any questions or comments on this
No.
one? Okay. The next one is from 610 Auto. It is with Public Works. We have 8 late invoices. We have 4 that are from dated 8/5/2024 and 4 that are dated 8/2/2024. The amount is $857.48. The explanation is the invoices were sent by the vendor, however, they were missed by vehicle maintenance. Any questions or comments on this late invoice?
No.
Okay, the final one is for engineering department. It is from Short Elliott Hendrickson. They have 4 late invoices dated 6/18/24. I'll forward them. The total outstanding figure for these 4 invoices is $36,437.18. Explanation is engineering department received the invoice late. Service has been rendered and invoices should be processed. Any questions or comments?
None.
Okay, there being no further questions and comments, I'd like to make a motion to approve the 3 aforementioned late invoices for various departments of the city.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we have a donation check for special events. This money was actually wired to us, and we had a problem with it because it didn't say who it was for, so it took us a while to figure out it was for special events, and it was from BP, because they didn't have that information on the wire, which was kind of funny.
Oh. Okay.
The check was for the wire was for $12,000. So, and it is for special events. We confirmed that. Any questions or comments on,
No. Just thank you to BP for
Hmm.
the generosity.
right? There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion accepting the donation check on behalf of Special Events Committee.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. Next we come, one of my favorites, Water Department funding. Okay, so let's sit back and wait. Okay. Got my little ruler and everything. Okay. We have 12 vendors. We'll start with Calumet City Plumbing. The amount is $17,000. Location in Chicago and McCook Avenue. Division distribution. The work type is 6-inch easy valve installation. This will come out of our LDA fund. And I should mention before, all these projects have been approved by the Board of Public Works. All we are doing is approving the funding from the city's LDA and seeded funds. Okay, number 2 is from Divine Landscaping. The amount is $22,170. Location Todd Pump Station and new plant. Division of Filtration. This install rock barriers around tanks per item and EPA regulations. This one is also from our LDA fund. Number 3 is from Brace Sales. Amount is $13,044. Location 3455 Pennsylvania Avenue. Division Filtration. Work type Phenomics Actuators out of Seeded. Number 4 is Augustgen Electric, $8,209, 3455 Pennsylvania Avenue, Filtration Division. Work type is sodium hydrochloride sensors, and 2-inch valve, diaphragm, and 1-inch valve. Well, that might be for the next one.
That's for the number 5.
Okay, that's number 5, okay. So it's only for sodium hydrochloride sensors.
Yeah, the sensors.
Okay, sensors. Number 5 is from Harrington. The amount is $10,321.80. Location 3455 Pennsylvania Avenue. Division Filtration. And this is for the 2-inch valve diaphragm and 1-inch valve ball out of Seeded Fund. Next we have from Alterfer. Amount $1,903.60. 3455 Pennsylvania Avenue location. Filtration Division. This is for the fire pump ATS. And it's from the LDA fund. Next is number 7, Calumet City Plumbing. $63,000. Various locations. Distribution Division. It is for water shut-off control placements. This is out of LDA fund. Next we have number 8, National Industrial Maintenance. Amount is $5,550. 3455 Pennsylvania. Division Filtration. This is change order for increase in price due to the need for additional totes. TOTS, totes?
Yes, that is correct.
That's from LDA fund. Next, number 9, Anderson Process is the vendor. Amount is $771.14. Location 3455 Pennsylvania. Filtration Division. And it is for Marprin Load Sure Tube Element. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes,
Okay. and it's
Marprine,
out-
load, sure, yes.
Okay, and it's out of our seeded account. Okay, we have, number 10 is also from Anderson Process. Amount is $4,556.57. Filtration Division, and this is for our Bredell valves and hoses,
Yes.
and it's out of our seeded fund. Next, we have number 11 out of Brace Sales. Amount $9,138. Location 3455 Pennsylvania. Filtration Division. It's for pneumatic
Pneumatic.
actuators. Thank you.
Pneumatic
Okay,
actuators.
pneumatic actuators. Thank you. That's out of our seeded fund. The final one is also from Brace Sales. The amount is $568. Location 3455 Pennsylvania. Filtration Division is for boat kits and adapters, and it's out of our seeded. The total is $156,232.11. Are there any questions or comments on?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve the aforementioned proposals from these 12 vendors for our water department.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next we come to Resolution 2024-28. Darnell Lyles, this came from the Law Department. We have a resolution of the Chicago Board of Public Works authorizing the modification of the city's contract for legal services with Attorney Darnell Lyles. Whereas the board previously authorized and approved its contract with Attorney Darnell Lyles for calendar year 2024, which among other things established a cap for fees in the amount of $75,000. And whereas the board previously extended the cap containing a contract by amount not to exceed $30,000. Whereas due to upcoming trial and additional pending litigation, the board now desires to extend the cap containing that contract and previous resolutions by amount of not to exceed the sum of $75,000. Therefore, be it resolved by the East Chicago Board of Public Works that there now allows contract be modified so as to allow for the payment for those services for an additional $75,000 subject to the submission of itemized statements approved by the City Controller and the Common Council. Certified and adopted by the Board of Public Works, City of Chicago, this 10th day of October 2024. Any questions or comments on Resolution 28?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion approving Resolution 2024-28.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we have Resolution number 2024-29, a resolution of Chicago Board of Public Works establishing terms and conditions for the transfer of certain property owned by the City of Chicago to the Chicago Department of Redevelopment, which property is commonly known as 3820 Evergreen Street, parcel number 45-03-210-410-027.000-024. Whereas the City of Chicago owns a number of properties within the City of Chicago listed in the title of this resolution by the commonly known address and parcel number, and whereas IC 36-1-11 prescribes the manner of disposal and conveyance of real property by political subdivisions, including municipal departments, and whereas IC 36-1-11-8 provides that such entities may transfer or exchange property on terms and conditions for such considerations and evidence by adoption of substantially identical resolutions by such entities, and whereas the City of Chicago, acting through its Board of Public Works, desires to convey and transfer the subject property to the Chicago Department of Redevelopment, therefore be it resolved by the Board of Public Works of the City of Chicago that the City of Chicago shall convey and transfer with zero consideration the above described real estate as particularly described on the attached quitclaim deed to the Chicago Department of Redevelopment. Be it further resolved that the Board President be and is hereby authorized to execute a deed substantially conforming to the documents attached, conveying such property to the Chicago Department of Redevelopment, along with the appropriate sales disclosure form. Certified on this 10th day of October 2024. Any questions on Resolution 29?
None.
There being no further questions, I'd like to make a motion. We approve Resolution 2024-29 concerning 3020 Evergreen Street.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we come to Resolution 2024-30. This is from Cronus, concerning Cronus System. This is from the Law Department. We do have a letter from our IT Director, Kevin Klosak. Cronus Upgrade Resolution, description. This resolution is to allow for prepayment of services with the Cronus software upgrade, based on this being proprietary software for the city timekeeping system, and also to incur a saving of $76,900, being that the prepayment of services is $56,000, which was termed in the Current Board of Works approved agreement, and the T&M billing option would total $132,900 for the services. Both the signed agreement and the T&M agreement are included in the resolution document. And the resolution document reads, as the city subscribes to employs Kronos Workforce Central software, which requires a proprietary upgrade in order to continue functioning, and whereas the Board of Public Works has determined the need for attaining the software upgrade from Kronos, and whereas IC 522-10 authorizes the Board of Public Works, acting as the city's purchasing agency, to make special purchases without soliciting bids or proposals, and whereas IC 5-22-10-5 authorizes the board to make special purchase where there exists a unique opportunity to obtain supplies and services at a substantial savings to the city, And whereas IC 5-2210-8 authorizes the board to make a special purchase of equipment when the compatibility of equipment, accessories, or replacements part is a substantial consideration in the purchase and only one you lost my part. Substantial consideration in the purchase and only one source meets the using agency's responsible requirements. Whereas IC 5-22-10-12 authorizes the board to make a special purchase when the market structure is based on price, but the government body is able to receive a dollar or percentage discount of the established price. Whereas IC 5-22-10-13 authorizes the board to award a contract when there is only one source for the supply and the board determines in writing that there is only one source for the supply. Whereas the Cronus upgrade agreement contains a fixed fee provision requiring an advance payment of $56,000. The alternate for obtaining the necessary services would be time and material charges, would cost $132,000 for the same services. Now therefore be resolved that the acceptance and execution of the attached Cronus upgrade agreement provide for an advance payment of the fixed fee of $56,000 for professional services is a justifiable special purchasing method as described herein, and the previous executed agreement is hereby ratified and approved. Adopted on this date, 10th of October 24. Any questions or comments on resolution 30?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion approving resolution 2024-30.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next we have resolution number 2024-31, a resolution of the Chicago Board of Public Works authorizing the modification of the city's contract with Divine Landscaping. Whereas the board previously authorized and approved its contract with Divine Landscaping for the calendar year 2024, which among other things established a cap for fees in the amount of $195,000, and whereas the board previously extended a cap contained in that contract by an amount not to exceed $40,000. Whereas the board now desires to extend that cap contained in that contract and previous extension by an amount not to exceed $16,000. Now therefore be it resolved by the Chicago Board of Public Works that the Divine Landscaping contract be modified so as to allow for payments for these services for an additional $16,000, subject to submission of itemized statements approved by the City Controller and the Common Council. Certified and adopted by the Board of Public Works on this 10th day of October 2024. Are there any questions or comments?
None.
There be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve Resolution 2024-31.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And just for information, the reason this came about, the original contract, which was done in 2024, December of 23 for 24, that was the time we had a lot of contracts before us. We actually missed, there was no not to exceed, and we missed that. And when Public Works put in their PO for 195, we didn't realize that they actually, when they did the PO, they went above our purchase policy. And so I think what happened, we assumed it was part of that landscaping rotation,
Yes.
and then we found out it was a separate thing. So when my staff, we actually missed it the first time. We missed it when they did the transfer to $40,000, but we caught it when they asked for an additional $16,000. So then State Board of Accounts says if there's an error made, as long as you do an action to correct it and explain it, that they're okay with it. So
Okay.
that's the reason that we're addressing this issue. And I think that's why we started sending letters and emails to the departments to, you can use rate schedules, but you have to follow our purchasing policy.
Yes.
So, okay?
And that's fine.
Okay. We made the motion, right? Yeah, I know.
Second.
Okay. Sometimes I talk too much.
We did do a motion, right?
Yeah, yeah, I get carried away sometimes.
Okay.
You ought to see me at the Fire Civil Service. I really go nuts there. Okay, next we have a transfer of 4635 Railroad Avenue. Let's see, we have a letter from White, Tarrant and Combs from 400 West Market Street Suite, Louisville, Kentucky. Apparently they are involved in this transfer. The letter reads, statement on acquisition of tract 3 is hereafter defined as parcel 45-03-29-428-001.000-024. And the property is known as 4635 Railroad. Dear board members, we are seeking approval of 2 quitclaim deeds which transfer a parcel of 45-03-29-428-001.000-024, tract 3, which originated from an error in the legal description during the 2013 transaction between the City of Chicago, Indiana, Department of Redevelopment, and Mosaic Properties. Our client, 300 Chicago Partners, LLC, the buyer, closed on the acquisition of the remainder of the parcel as well as an adjacent property to the east of the parcel. According to the Lane County Property Assessor's records, the buyer is listed as the owner of the entire parcel. Attempts to correct this issue prior to the closing of the buyer's acquisition of the parcel by corrective deed were ineffective because the deeds were executed by the incorrect city department that did not have authority to transfer tract 3. Additionally, the seller had been paying taxes on the tract 3 since 2013, despite that portion of the parcel not being formally transferred to seller in 2013. As a condition for our client to obtain title insurance for tract 3, our title company requires that the chain of title be corrected to reflect deeds executed by the parties with the authorized to transfer the parcel. This correction must occur within 60 days from the buyer's acquisition of the remainder of the parcel, which closed on September 11, 2024. So basically, they're correcting an action that took place in 2013. And before us, we have the quitclaim. We have the quitclaim deed. And we have Exhibit A, which is a description of the parcel. We have the sales disclosure form whereby our board is transferring the property to redevelopment, which I believe was the case that was skipped in the original one. Hey, you have any questions or comments on this procedure?
No.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion that we approve Resolution 2024-31. Excuse me. We already did that one. This is
Yes.
this is a resolution approving the transfer of 4635 Railroad Avenue.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, so next we have from Robinson Engineering, we have supplemental engineering services for Elm Street. This is from Engineering Department. This is a reference to a new roadway design between Elm Street and Alder Street in Chicago, Indiana. It is for supplemental engineering services, the proposal. So supplemental engineering services, it's for a site design. This is from Robinson Engineering. Our office will repair infrastructure improvement plans, including roadway pavements, sidewalks, sanitary sewer, storm sewer, street lighting, and water main as required by the governing authorities. If the city prefers, a multi-use path can be included between Elm Street and Alder in lieu of a sidewalk. Our plans will include utility services, laterals, and storm sewer or the roadways that tie into the existing combined sewer at the project location. The amount of this project is $127,000. And as I mentioned before, these are for the engineering services. They do include their rate schedule for different personnel and activities. And as it's because it is a service, they do not require additional quotes or bids or anything. Any questions or comments?
Is this for the new subdivision, correct? The Prairie Crossings?
Elm Street and Alder, seems like quite a distance between the two. Is that
Yeah.
does that run?
Alder is right behind there, yes.
So Elm is the west border and Alder is the east border of that new
It goes
subdivision?
all the way through.
Okay.
It goes all the
That
way
is
through.
for Prairie Crossings.
Okay,
Yes, okay.
okay. Any other comments or questions?
No further comments or questions.
Okay, there being no further comments or questions, I'd like to make a motion approving Robinson Engineering's proposal for supplemental engineering services for the Elm Street Alder project.
Second,
All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next we have from Benny Tree Services, a tree removal. This is for engineering. We actually have two sets of quotes for 4 different proposals for 4 different locations. These are from Benny and Cam's. For 2808 East 140th Place, the amount is $2,100. That's from Benny Tree Service for 3706 McKinley Street, East Chicago. The amount is for $4,300. For 3712 McKinley Street, that project is $3,300. At each location is for tree removal and stump grinding and disposal. Let's see, can I get them all? 3734 Deodore was $4,100. 2808 East 140th was $2,100. 3706 McKinley was $4,300. And 3712 McKinley was $3,300. That was from Benny Tree Service. Cam Tree Service, for the same addresses, for 3734 Deodore was $4,700. For 2808 East 140th, they were $2,400. 3706 McKinley, they were $4,838. And for 3712 McKinley, there were $3,828. Benny Tree Services was lower on each proposal, on each of the 4 proposals. Are there any questions or comments on these 4 proposals from engineering for 4 different locations?
No, so the recommendation would be to...
The motion would be to approve Benny's 4 proposals for the 4 different locations.
Second?
All in favor? No questions or comments?
No.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next we have from Magner Concrete. We have a proposal 2024-2. It's for a Welcome to Chicago sign. They have the description, they have the total for each line item, they have engineering, mobilization, demolition, concrete footings, decorative stones, rebar, gravel, excavation, concrete columns, stucco, soil, flowers, general labor category. The sign itself would be $12,850. The garden, the rounder, cleaning shrubbery, stone labor, architectural design, structural design, electric design, extra work global. The total would be $56,540. Let's see. The monument has 2 signs in it, Welcome to Chicago and I Love My City on the other side.
Is it just one proposal?
I think it's a sole proprietor, they're gonna get the paperwork to us.
Okay,
When we make the motion, we'll add that
okay.
inclusion. I was just looking Olga, maybe you could tell me, where's the location of the sign?
On 145th and Homerly.
Oh, 145th and Homerly?
Yes.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
No.
There being no further comments and questions, I'd like to make a motion approving Magner Concrete's not only the design but also the entire project of our new Welcome to Chicago sign in the amount of $56,540. And the reason they're so proud that they've done the other signs we have in the city, so it's kind of, it'll be in the same nature. Okay, next we have from Short Elliott Hendrickson, Alcott Avenue Reconstruction Design Services. This is agreement for professional services. Consultants work on the project described as the Alcott Avenue Reconstruction Design. The project City of Chicago has requested of Short Elliott Hendrickson, Incorporated, SEH, to provide a proposal for design services at the reconstruction of Alcott Avenue from 148th Street to 151st Street, hereinafter referred to as the project. The project, which is approximately 2,300 feet long, will include replacement of above-ground and underground infrastructure, full replacement of pavement, curbs, ADA ramps, concrete sidewalks within the city right-of-ways. SCH staff performed a walkthrough with city engineer on September 26th to clearly identify the items to be addressed in the project design. There is a not to exceed on page 93 of $192,000. And there are hourly rates on Exhibit A-1-1. And there also is a more detailed explanation of what they're going to do under project understanding, which goes from page 1 to page 2. Are there any questions or comments on this agreement for professional services?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve for the engineering department this agreement for professional services with Short, Elliott, and Hendrickson.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next, we have from Inspect Engineering Consultants. This is a proposal for Fire Station Number 4. It is a building assessment of the structural engineering services proposal. The scope of work is proposed scope of engineering service for this project is as follows. The field assessment to perform a general condition visual assessment of accessible portions of the existing load-bearing masonry walls at the facility and to locate and qualify the extent of the cracking. For the record, Fire Station Number 4 has been suffering cracks in the walls and the floor. It's believed that it has to do something with the foundation. We had some companies ready to repair the cracks in the floor, but then it was determined we're not getting at the source. So we're having this company inspect the actual footings and everything underneath. So part of their also agreement, they will perform general condition and visual inspection of the accessible portion of the slab on grade of facility to locate and qualify the extent of cracking. They will also, number 3, inspection of the foundation, stabilization and repair development, also the masonry repair and development, and come back with proposals for when we do put out the bid packages for repair of this number 4 station. Are there any questions or comments on this proposal?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve Inspect Engineering Consultants proposal for Fire Station Number 4 for Engineering Department.
Did we note the
Oh.
proposed amount, 20,000?
Oh, yeah, but they do have a lump sum, proposed lump sum, thank you, of $20,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. And there is a breakdown of the $20,000 on page 4.
Val just had a note, and I'm not sure if you can refer to your notes. Did we motion on the Magner sign on 145th?
Do we make a motion?
Did we?
Well, we'll just make it right now, just in case.
No, you did not.
We did not.
No? We not usually catch me with those, you know?
You're going
Okay.
too fast.
Okay, we'll jump back to
Sorry.
Magner, for their proposal for the Welcome to Chicago sign at 145th and Homerly. I'd like to make a motion, we approve the proposal for the engineering department with Magner.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, now we come to right-of-way applications. We have City of Chicago Board of Public Works permit applications number 24-04 H55 through 24-04 863. Are there any questions or comments on these Board of Public Works permit applications?
No.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion approving the aforementioned permit applications.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. That concludes our new business. I believe we have no other business. Our next regular meeting will be Thursday, October 24th, 2024 at 4:30 p.m. That concludes all our items on our agenda for tonight. I'd like to make a motion for adjournment.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.